One other guy, you mentioned there's skillful fighters out there. One guy that I do think is skillful, Terence Crawford. Obviously.
Terence Crawford has spent his entire career being underrated, with many doubting his boxing skills and power. Despite proving himself time and time again, most notably with his dominant 9th-round knockout victory over Errol Spence Jr., the world champion from Omaha has still faced skepticism. Even Floyd Mayweather didn't fully grasp Crawford's greatness until recently, following an eye-opening training session with him.
The Terence Crawford position, is it time for him to move up?
Wait. I think when he was like, I really super.
As Terence Crawford trained for this highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez, he and Floyd Mayweather stepped into the ring for a sparring session. During their exchange, Crawford showcased his dominance, overwhelming Mayweather with his skill and punching power. The session was a shocking revelation for Mayweather, leaving him with no choice but to acknowledge Crawford's exceptional talent.
And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising the dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
Terence Crawford enlisted Floyd Mayweather to help prepare for his upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez later this year, and the undefeated boxing legend was immediately impressed by how much Crawford had improved. After seeing Crawford's skills set firsthand, Mayweather was confident that Canelo would be in serious trouble when they meet in the ring. Floyd shared some defensive techniques with Crawford, including the shoulder roll, and worked on footwork drills for him to incorporate into his game. Crawford's versatility was on full display as he prepared for whatever style Canelo might bring, whether it's offensive or defensive. The undefeated pound-for-pound king expressed his belief that Crawford would be able to do significant damage to Canelo, reflecting on his own experience facing the Mexican star. Mayweather drew comparisons between his own fight against Canelo in 2013 and what he sees in Crawford now, suggesting that the outcome could be just as one-sided as their previous encounter. Mayweather and Canelo fought in a World Boxing Council and World Boxing Association light middleweight title bout in September 2013. At the time, it was considered one of Mayweather's toughest tests, but he dominated the fight, winning on points despite the scorecards being closer than most fans expected.
When I fought Canelo, I was 36, and Canelo was 23, around the same age. Some of these guys.
Mayweather dominated the entire fight, using his unmatched skills and experience to outclass Canelo over 12 rounds, securing a majority decision victory. Despite being the clear winner, one judge, C.J. Ross, scored it a surprising 114-114, a decision that left many in the arena, including Mayweather, bewildered. In an interview with Fight Hype, the 47-year-old didn't hold back in sharing his thoughts on Canelo's boxing ability. When asked about the fight, Mayweather summed it up in 3 words: he was nothing. He went on to elaborate, calling Canelo an easy opponent. I'll tell the truth about Canelo. The idiot was a cakewalk. You're all praising this dude, but he was nothing. I was almost 40, and I cooked this dude.
It's really that they don't want, it's not that they don't want to see Tank win because they feel like it's beating me because I dominated the fight game for so long. But these same writers out here, they praise Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to fight.
Mayweather retired a few years after their encounter, but more than a decade later, Canelo Alvarez has remained one of boxing's biggest stars. He has captured world titles at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight, even becoming the undisputed champion at 168 Ulbs after suffering his first defeat to Mayweather. Since that loss, Canelo has gone on an impressive winning streak, claiming 15 consecutive victories and further adding to his collection of world titles. Now he seems poised to enter another monumental clash, with a highly anticipated fight against fellow pound-for-pound legend Terence Crawford reportedly set for later this year.
Titles and was undisputed champion. I think the Tank age, the young low champions.
Some analysts believe the weight difference could prove too much for Crawford, who would be jumping from 154 lbs to 168 lbs for the fight, having only competed once in the super welterweight division. Given that Canelo is a naturally much bigger fighter, many predict that this disparity could lead to a knockout victory for the Mexican, reminiscent of his fight with Amir Khan, who also moved up 2 weight classes to face Canelo. In light of this, Mayweather shared his thoughts on Canelo's power after their encounter, when asked if it was something that concerned him ahead of the bout.
Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts. And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36.
Mayweather remarked after the fight that Canelo's power was nothing he hadn't felt before, stating, "It's nothing I've never felt before, after more than 20 years in the sport." These comments could serve as a confidence boost for Crawford, especially considering Canelo has failed to stop his last 5 opponents. The 34-year-old from Guadalajara, Mexico, currently holds the unified WBC, WBA, and WBO titles at 168 lbs, as he prepares to defend his crown against fellow pound-for-pound star Terence "Bud" Crawford later this year in what promises to be one of the most significant fights in boxing history. Canelo's only other career loss came in 2022, when he was decisively defeated by former WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol.
With 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill. And so when I fight guys, when I'm in my 30s.
Even more intriguing was the fact that, after Mayweather and Crawford met, Eddie Hearn was also present at the training camp to support Shaker Stevenson, turning the session into a gathering of some of the biggest names in boxing. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but in today's world, with so many witnesses, especially when celebrities are involved, it's hard to keep anything secret. And when you throw Floyd Mayweather's name into the mix, it becomes nearly impossible to hide. A recent meeting between Mayweather and the renowned promoter Eddie Hearn, in a gym in Sin City, sparked plenty of attention. Although the interaction was filled with lighthearted comments, it was clear that the two were exchanging more than just jokes. Not too long ago, Hearn had been vocal about his belief that Mayweather wasn't as wealthy as he claimed to be. He suggested that Mayweather was seeking exhibition fights because he needed the money, or at least didn't have the fortune he often boasted about. Mayweather, during his remarkable boxing career, earned over $1.2 billion, including massive paydays from his high-profile bouts with Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor. However, widespread reports now estimate his current net worth to be around $400 million, allowing him to lead an extravagant lifestyle outside of the ring. Despite retiring from professional boxing in 2017, Mayweather has continued to fight in highly lucrative exhibitions, often against less formidable opponents. He's claimed that each of these exhibitions earns him 8-figure paydays, referring to them as legalized bank robberies. When asked why he accepts these showman-style events, Mayweather has emphasized that it's all about building his generational wealth. Meanwhile, Hearn, the Matchroom boxing promoter, has suggested in multiple interviews that Mayweather's net worth might not match the lavish lifestyle he flaunts, hinting that Mayweather's finances may not be as solid as the public believes. "I don't think he's got the money he says he has," Hearn remarked.